This is 6 Minutes, the Seriously International Daily Newscast. It's Thursday, May 22nd. I'm Bertrand Hauger.
And I'm Emma Albright. It's supper time in Manila while people are getting ready for breakfast in San Juan. Here in the Worldcrunch newsroom in Paris, it's almost lunchtime. These are the latest headlines. The UN says 98 trucks have entered Gaza. US President Donald Trump says Russian President Vladimir Putin is not ready for peace talks. And our daily quiz question is about an emergency protocol in the Netherlands. Our top story today is the fatal shooting of 2 Israeli embassy staff outside a Jewish museum in Washington, D.C. The couple, named as Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Lynn Milgram, were killed by a man who shouted, "Free, free Palestine." The suspect is currently in custody. In Gaza, the UN has confirmed that it had collected and begun dispatching around 90 truckloads of aid in the enclave, marking the first aid arrival since early March. This comes 3 days after Israel announced it would allow limited aid to enter the besieged Palestinian territory. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel would be open to a temporary ceasefire to enable the return of hostages. But otherwise, he said it would press ahead with a military campaign to gain total control of Gaza. US President Donald Trump has said Russian President Vladimir Putin is not ready for peace talks. Trump told European leaders that Putin is not ready to end his war in Ukraine because he believes he is winning, the Wall Street Journal reported on Thursday. Trump made the acknowledgement during a call with European leaders following his phone call with Putin on Monday. In Paris, the trial for the 10 men accused of the 2016 armed robbery of Kim Kardashian is drawing to a close. While the spotlight continues to shine on the American reality star, our More Than a Minute feature today looks at the consequences for the other victim of the heist. Bertrand, could you tell us about this largely forgotten figure in the celebrity case?
Abderrahmane Ouattiki was the receptionist at the luxury Paris hotel where Kim Kardashian was staying on the night of October 3rd, 2016.
I hope that justice will make its work and let it be justice.
Held at gunpoint, the PhD student from Algeria became the robber's unwilling guide, then interpreter, helping to retrieve Kardashian's 20-carat ring before being abandoned in the fire safety room, his hands zip-tied. With Ouattiki in Paris to testify at the celebrity trial, Paris-based daily Le Figaro reports on that night 9 years ago when the robbers needed Ouattiki's keys and his English. With a cold gun barrel pressed against him, the receptionist unlocked the American star's apartment. "Hello?" she called out. Then, suddenly, she was face to face with masked men and the front desk clerk in their grip. Kardashian screamed. The thieves, who didn't speak a word of English, demanded money. Confusion turned into a tense standoff. "I feared for my life because of the gun and because the jittery guy was hysterical. I also feared for Kim Kardashian's safety," Ouattiki recalled. He told her to be quiet and stepped in as a translator. Ouattiki, who had lived in France since 2003, was initially considered a possible suspect in the case by police, though he was eventually cleared.
What has happened to Ouattiki in the years since?
Though he wasn't injured, the psychological trauma of that night altered his life, his lawyer told Le Figaro. Ouattiki was no longer able to continue his PhD in semiotics, and as a result, his French residency permit was not renewed and he was forced to return to Algeria at the end of 2016. A psychoanalyst report submitted to the court notes that Ouattiki suffers from serious post-traumatic stress disorder, often linked to the onset of major depression with long-lasting and widespread life consequences, and concludes that he will need long-term psychological treatment. After 9 years of suffering, the former doctoral candidate, now living off family support, hopes that, quote, "the injustices he experienced will finally be addressed with this trial," his lawyer said.
We're closing things out today with our daily quiz question, which comes to us from the Netherlands. Citing the rise of cyber threat, what has the Dutch government advised its citizens do? A. Cover webcams with tape. B. Keep some cash handy. C. Sell any cryptocurrency they may have. Or D. Switch back to paper maps. The correct answer is B. The Netherlands Central Bank has advised citizens to keep enough cash on hand to last them 3 days in case of disaster or emergency, citing rising geopolitical tensions and cyber threats that could jeopardize the country's payment system. Citizens should keep €70 per adult and €30 per child in cash as a precautionary measure, the bank warned this week.
That's the latest from around the world. If you like this podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you could help us out with a follow, share, and a 5-star rating on your preferred podcasting platform. For more of the best of the international press, delivered exclusively in English, visit us at worldcrunch.com. We'll see you here tomorrow. À demain!